WTF?
Hello, I'm Ross from Cultaholic.com. You're my sexual wank pheasants, and it's our bastard time of the week once again, where I take a look at all the WTF moments from an episode of WWE Raw. And ding dong, the witch got her arse handed to her. Stephanie McMahon is Ronda Rousey's bitch. Made a grave mistake, Corey. You know it's going to be a big night when General Manager Kurt Angle kicks off the show, is a line that would work if Kurt Angle didn't kick off most shows that most fans would accept are not big nights. You know it's going to be a big night when you slip your SpongeBob SquarePants pajamas on. You know it's going to be a big night when you're tucked up in bed by 9 o'clock. You know it's going to be a big night when you're sat in your flat all alone wondering why you've got no friends and you down gallons of whiskey and then cry yourself to sleep. Oh. Now I gave this a lot of thought, but on closer inspection it's clear to see with the way that certain parts of that sign are colouring red, that fan there has used the wrong yaw, you numpty. Now, as Miss Dynamite used to sing way back in day, do not forget that apostrophe. I'm a die-hard wrestling fan, she says. This has been my dream all my life, she says. I've always wanted to be on the grand stage that is WrestleMania, she says. So why then is Ronda Rousey shocked that the McMahon family are not the people she thought they would be? Do you even watch wrestling, bro? Do you bollocks? If you ever needed signs that last night's show was a good night, then those signs there should do it for you. Join them in joining us. It wasn't a good show last night. I just used that so it worked in this. Kurt Angle has 5 kids. Now just look at that lovely photo there from my personal collection. I mean his Instagram account, and you will see 5 kids there, but no Jason Jordan. Please don't tell me we've been through all of this just so Kurt Angle can forget about it all once again. He'd forgotten about that one night Rob for bear time, and all of a sudden he's given a horrible reminder in the form of a charismaless vacuum that is called Jason Jordan. We've been through all of this. We've made it to the other side. Let's not forget about it, WWE. If he does forget about it, in the words of the wonderful Creed Bratton, what has this all been about? What are we working toward? And with the way she dealt with that drum roll, it's clear for all to see that Ronda Rousey premature ejaculates. And then, despite the fact that everyone on screen made a big old hoo-ha about how Stephanie McMahon is Kurt Angle's boss, Kurt Angle strapped his bollocks off, velcroed some lady pals on, then said, "Whoa pal, I make the matches around here." And that's even though we all know that that's as true as Jason Jordan actually being Kurt Angle's bastard son. And worst of all, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon just stood there and took it like most WWE superstars are forced to take a slap to the face from Lady Balls. Her hand, not a tea bag. Why did they just take it? It's well established that Stephanie McMahon is Kurt Angle's boss, and over on SmackDown Live, which has the same setup in terms of the hierarchy as Raw does, Shane McMahon's word way outweighs that of Daniel Bryan's. As was shown with the booking of the United States Championship match at Fastlane, so with all that in mind, why is Steph taking that from Kurt the one time she should actually be belittling someone when they're stepping out of line and she does nothing? What a numpty. This made me moist. But Stephanie McMahon finally getting her comeuppance and looking a little bit weak for a little bit of time. Jesus, come on in here, it's time for a dance. Shabba! But that's right, Ronda Rousey brought her Samoan heritage to the fore by laying the smackers down all over Lady Balls herself by hitting a very gnarly Samoan drop. I know, I'm as shocked as you are. Now last week, WWE made a big old hoo-ha about Ronda Rousey not knowing how to play the game, but it's clear to see that in the 7 days since then, she has very much learned how to play that game. You be Roman Reigns. You take one of Roman Reigns' move and you take his Samoan heritage, just like he's the big dog. Bow wow wow, yippee-yo, yippee Ronda Rousey. Jonathan Coachman, how on earth can that thing there be an Olympic dream team when half of that dream team only won a bronze at the Olympics? I should say, of course, Ronda Rousey winning an Olympic bronze medal is one hell of an achievement, but there's still 2 racks to go above that. So saying their Olympic dream team is just like having one of those dreams that cuts off before the very good bit happens. You know what I'm talking about. We've all been there. When you go for a backbreaker but you bend the wrong knee, it's clear for all to see that Nia Jax needs to get Mickey Mouse out of her brains because she needed to bend that knee, not Disney. Although I guess we should be cutting her some slack because she had just found out seconds before this match took place that Ronda Rousey's a bloody cousin. Jonathan Coachman back at it again when he claimed that when it comes to the revival, he thinks of one word. He thinks of tough and he thinks of unique. And I think numpty. That's 2 words, coach, for Christ's sake. Jonathan Coachman is a numpty. pass it on. Next up, we have the moment where John Cena claimed that he has not, he will not, and he never will step in the way of anybody and hold them back inside a WWE ring. Aye, tell that to the Nexus, you fluorescent numpty. So the appearance of Goldust cutting off a John Cena promo and the things that came out of Goldust's mouth were all WTF moments on their lonesome. Seeing John Cena and Goldust wrestle in 2018 in a singles match on Raw is like when you've left universe mode on to sim for a year without touching the bloody thing and coming back to seeing utter mess before your eyes. But then the commentators claimed that this was the first time that John Cena and Goldust had ever had a match, and I was all like, I don't think so, sassy bitch. That might have been the first singles match they've ever had, but they have teamed twice on Raw in the past. The first happened in November 2013 when Cena, Goldust and Cody Rhodes teamed up to defeat Cody Rhodes, Jack Swagger, Antonio Cesaro and Damien Sandow. And the second happened in October 2014 when Cena and Dean Ambrose defeated Gold and Stardust and the Usos in a triple threat tag team match. Knowledge is power! Here's a direct quote from Paige. If you have no one, you have nothing. Not if you're the big dog or any other singles competitor in WWE, that is. Paige is not right. One versus all. Oh. And next up we have Alexa Bliss, and the moment she claims she's never seen Nia Jax give up like she did to Asuka on last night's Raw. It had me all like, what the hell now? Hold up. Sasha Banks has made Nia Jax give up. Becky Lynch has made Nia Jax give up. Bayley made Nia Jax give up at NXT TakeOver London. All of this proves that WWE superstars can't actually see anything when they're watching television, like Marlon Brando smelling a silent fart. And then Alexa Bliss has the gall to claim that Nia Jax has always been an outsider. She's always been bullied because she's always been bigger than the other kids. Bit awkward that, isn't it, you bloody hobbit? I didn't mean that, but if you're gonna give it, you gotta take it. And now it's time for this.
Wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank, wankety wank.
Welcome to Wankety Wank, just like blankety blank, where you fill in the blanks a sexual wank pheasant fills in my blanks and tweets me, telling me a WTF moment that I have missed. And thank you to @JoeHasAMustache, who pointed out that Jonathan Coachman was on screen while WWE were going through their Women's History Month celebrations, mere hours after news broke that Coachman has been accused of sexual harassment during his time working for ESPN. Now, I don't want to alarm anybody, but Elias can teleport. As you can see here, he steps onto what looks like a patterned carpet while he's running away from Braun Strowman, but when the camera cuts to another shot backstage, he's walking on a solid grey surface. It's clear for all to see that Kevin Dunn didn't scout the area properly before putting that pre-tape together, which means, of course, it's time for this. Dun 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 dun. But as well as mastering teleportation and every single instrument under the sun, it's clear for all to see that Elias is blind as well. That car didn't move up or down while Elias was sat in it, presumably meaning that Braun Strowman was stood there the entire time with the car lifted off the floor, so the rear wheel drive ting couldn't move away. Maybe that's why he's always asking who wants to walk with Elias, because he can't piss and see where he's going. Somebody get him a guide dog. Coach, it's a double base. It always has been a double base. It always will be a double base. Why do you say the things you do about double bases, which aren't actually double bases? Don't buy the sun. Hey, gorgeous, would you like to eat my world? The fact that The Miz had a Mizzy dedicated to the superstar who was best at patting himself on the back, and the fact that Barry Horowitz didn't win this award, makes me terribly sad indeed. Now, all of these impromptu matches that were taking place on last night's show that were made official during the commercial break by General Manager Kurt Angle had me thinking that WWE Raw's creative team don't actually write a show or provide a format. It's clear for all to see that Raw's creative team just writes down where the ad breaks come in a show, because the ad money is so sweet indeed, and then they just pray that superstars come out to replace the blank space of nothingness they have provided on the script. That made sense, didn't it? Maybe not. Think about it, these impromptu matches have got to be replacing something, haven't they? Because they were impromptu. 5 minutes before they happened, they weren't going to happen, so what was going to happen in place of that? Oh, one impromptu match I can take, but the sheer amount that was happening last night, nah pal, not having it. Kurt, you numpty, you can't say that The Miz won't be facing Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, he won't be facing Finn Balor at WrestleMania, and then book a match where he faces the pair of them. What you should have said was he won't just be facing Seth Rollins, he won't just be facing Finn Balor, he'll be facing both of them at the same time. Not including just in those sentences makes as much sense as the letter W having one syllable, which of course it does in your vernacular because you work for WWE. That picture of Balor, how can't they see there's something really wrong with that picture of Balor? He looks like he's turned something sideways and shoved it down his Cadbury throat, the fat bastard. Now, when Paul Heyman said that word that rhymes with wig split, I thought to myself, bloody hell, Carl Pilkington has really let himself go, hasn't he? Let himself go into becoming a beautiful, full-bodied man. And then Big Carl equated the word bitch to a female automatically, and I started to cringe a little bit. Yes, it means female dog, but men's can be bitches too. Just look at Adam Pacitti in the predictions competitions we have each month here at Cultaholic. But then Big Carl said after WrestleMania, Reigns can seek a new championship to challenge, which is one hell of a pun, and all is right with the world again, because puns, they make the world go round. But sticking with that promo, they referred to the Universal Championship itself as Brock Lesnar's bitch, which presumably means that Brock Lesnar's hoofed that belt. Mago, 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 mago. Here's a direct quote from Maggle. Roman Reigns is itching for a fight. Roman sucks the big dog. Roman sucks himself. Roman has no ribs. Roman is Marilyn Manson. I always thought that Roman Reigns was more like Robert Trujillo. That's it. Blowjobs. Ta-da! You can follow me on the Twitter machine at RossOnWrestling if you're a fan of what we do here at Cultaholic. You can pledge to our Patreon page. There's all sorts of tiered rewards. Patreon.com/Cultaholic. But most importantly of all, do not forget to join us on every form of social media apart from one that doesn't exist anymore.